Well, guys, I guess I'm live. Doing this very early today because my husband and I started watching some shows last night. We want to finish tonight. So I won't be available at 8 o'clock. And I'm not going to really read from a script tonight because I really just wanted to talk to you about something that's been on my heart. I started a group about 10 days ago. 25 steps to a healthier lifestyle jumpstart. And I had 19 wonderful ladies join the group. And unfortunately, I didn't have a whole lot of participation in the group. And I know it's a busy time of the year, but accountability is so important when you're on a healthy journey. So that's why I do so many groups. And that's why I try to encourage people to participate in the groups so that they actually feel like they get something out of it without me having to be in their living room doing one-on-one coaching. But this morning, or maybe last night, I'm not sure when, let me look here. I guess it was this morning. I had posted an article that I was working on about the top 10 things that you should avoid in a food label. And I received some feedback on it, which was amazing. And my heart bursts whenever I get feedback on something, that someone actually read it and someone actually learned something from it. So I'm just going to share with you tonight those top 10 things. I won't go into detail. And then if you want more information on that, please just jump into the group, Imagine Fit Healthy Journey, and it'll be posted there for all of you to read. But, when you're starting a healthy journey, it's hard to understand what food should I eat, what food shouldn't I eat. I try to come from a position of, let's add in more water, let's add in more portion control. Let's look at the quality of the food that you're eating. Let's look at a plan for what you're going to eat. While I personally believe that organic food and produce, that you're going to eat the whole thing, is the better way to go, not everybody can afford to do that. But if you start with the basics and you just move forward a little bit at a time, then I think that helps to benefit your healthy journey long term. So those top 10 things that I want you to be watching for in your food labels are monosodium glutamate, or MSG, and Google MSG and other names for MSG, because when the food industry found out that MSG caused a lot of issues for a lot of people, they stopped putting it prominently on labels. They now very prominently put no MSG. But there are other things that mimic the same effects of MSG by different names. So Google that so that when you're looking, you know what you're looking for. Artificial flavors. Artificial flavors are something that can be something as simple as, I can't think the name of it right now right off the top of my head, but it's a flavoring that comes, believe it or not, from the anal glands of a beaver, which, from what I've understood, has a name, and like I said, I can't really think right now what it is, but it is a vanilla flavoring. So be careful of artificial flavors. High fructose corn syrup. Now, we've heard a lot about that in the industry, and we've heard a lot about that on TV and in documentaries and in newspaper articles. So just be aware of that. That's pure sugar. So high fructose corn syrup is something that you want to avoid. Table salt. Now, I don't always agree with this if you are someone that may be prone to thyroid issues, unless you're getting your iodine from other sources, because table salt does have iodine in it. I typically recommend sea salt, either Celtic or Himalayan pink salt, which has a different effect in your body, is much saltier, and you don't need as much of it. But just be aware that table salt can be something that can be detrimental to your journey for health. Low-fat or fat-free products. It's been proven that the low-fat craze was all manufactured. And if you compare labels on 2 low-fat products to, or even on 1 low-fat product to its full-fat partner, you're going to find that there's more carbohydrates in the low-fat than in the full-fat. And carbohydrates are what we should be concerned with, not fat. Good fat is healthy for us. We just have to know what that good fat is. But fat has flavor. So when they take it out of something, they have to add something back in, and they chose to add carbohydrates, which is usually in the form of added sugars. The next one is hydrogenated or fractionated oils. You can Google that if you want more information, or jump in the group and read that article. Artificial coloring, a lot of different artificial colorings have been linked to carcinogenic things and hyperactivity and ADHD and everything else. So just be aware of the artificial coloring that's in the foods that you're eating. Now, soy is pretty controversial because a good soy from a fermented soy product is probably very healthy for you in limited amounts. But soy creates an estrogen disturbance in women. So if you're a post-menopausal woman, you probably don't need a whole lot of soy because it's going to do some weird things to your body. And I think the reason so many women come into their time of growth earlier nowadays is because there's also so much soy in our products. It's cheaper to manufacture and people use it a lot. Canola oil. Now that's the one that perked someone's interest today because they thought canola oil was probably one of the better oils to choose from. And I'm not one to tell you it's not a good oil to choose from. I choose not to use it because of how it's made. And if you just Google the health effects of canola oil or how it's made, it might change your mind. You can substitute olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, any of those things for canola oil, and it tastes much better. Even for baking, I use avocado oil in my baking, and it makes the moistest cakes and things like that. You can also use olive oil in your baking. The last one is potassium sorbate. Potassium sorbate is a preservative, and it will successfully keep your food fresh, but it has been known to become a carcinogen and cause cell mutation in animals with toxic effects on their organs. So, number one, I hope you're not eating a whole lot of foods from a box or jar or can anyway, so potassium sorbate wouldn't be needed if you're cooking fresh. But if you are someone that still relies on foods like that as you're learning through your healthy journey, just be careful of how much potassium sorbate, how many foods you're eating in one meal with potassium sorbate in it. So we're going to go ahead and eat dinner here ourselves. I made some pasta. And just in case anybody's wondering, pasta is fine to eat as long as you're eating it within the right proportion sizes. And, you know, if you've ever worked with me, you know what those are. But my daughter-in-law made some amazing homemade spaghetti sauce for a spaghetti dinner for us for our anniversary. And there was a lot left over, so I had frozen it. So we're going to use that tonight, and we're having some pasta. So I'm looking forward to that, pasta in a salad. So, and then just to sit and watch some shows together with my husband after the football game's over, because he's got to watch that first. But anyway, thanks for listening in. If you have any questions, pop them in the comment box. If you want to help me out, share this video on your page so that other people can also listen in and see what we have to offer here at Imagine Fit. And if you're not in one of my groups, message me or just search for Imagine Fit Healthy Journey, and you can jump right into that group and get tips like this all the time. So thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye.